challenge. The first day was awful. We did it on Tuesday. Monday, I just did trading in like sim world, not sim world, but just not real trading. But the first day we had 2 entries above this bar's high right here. Lost $92 on it. It was not a good trade. We were in a trading range. You could see all the overlap here. Wish I wouldn't have taken that one, but I did. Okay. Next trades, I came back after I did some stuff. I lifted, I think, around here, and I'm not going to talk about that. Don't need to. But I lifted right around, got back from lifting, got on the market right away, and then I just took some bad trades that didn't really make sense. I saw this bear reversal bar and should have seen all the overlap in the previous bars, but I didn't. And then this one wasn't that bad. It was at least a breakout pullback. But this next one was bad. At this point we were pretty obviously in a trading range. We had a bunch of wicks down here, and that's not an entry I should be taking. We lost $187 on that day, and it was just not good trading. Like, it wasn't like, that's the only thing there is to it. Our next day was the 10th of September. Our first trade of the day, we bought above this bar's high and lost $48, which I don't think this was a good trade just because this climax, and we weren't that bullish. This was a nice push, but we weren't that bullish. But I still don't think this was the worst trade. Our next entry was below this bar's low, but I just was late on it, and I got in right here because it went super fast. I closed one at a limit at $50, which usually I would have closed. I think I would have made less, actually. Yeah, I would have had about the same on that first limit order. And then our next trade, and then we would have closed the next one probably right around here since this push was not that strong. But I didn't. I closed after this bar closed because I didn't want to just sit through that, and I'd already closed the one, and I felt like getting out at that spot. That's the only thing I could say. If it was better execution, we would have been able to hold up with highs, but I executed poorly. So I would have lost more than I wanted to if I would have kept my stop here if it got hit. That's why I did that. I didn't trade the rest of the day. There was some pretty good entries, but not mad about it. As you guys can see, it was a pretty bearish day. The next day was September 11th. And our first entry of the day was above this bar's high, above this blue bar's high, which is a good breakout pullback, half room to the top of trading range. The entry, I don't think I really missed any entries before that, except for this one. This is a big spot for me. I was thinking about entering, I had a mark here. I wanted to enter above this bar's high. I didn't. I'm okay with that. We went below it, then went above it, just because we were super bullish pre-market, and then, and I also had a mark right here above this bar's high. I didn't enter because I didn't like how all these wicks were, and I was going to be more cautious today, which I'm okay with that. And then we had a mark right here on this bar since it was the top, double top. And I was thinking about entering below this bar's low, but I knew that to get in here, I should have got in right here. And I knew the potential of a bull channel was high, and we were more bullish than bearish. That's why I didn't enter there. But I got in here. I was so close to getting stopped out, and I screwed up my limit orders. I don't know how. It was just not right. I don't know how to describe it, but it was my fault, and that's all I can say, because I put the wrong limits. Then I got in another position, and then I tried again, and it didn't work, so I had to close around right here for $93.50, which was about 40 on each position, which we would have closed below low and made more, but that's all right. I still made money, but if I just managed the past 2 days better, it would have been nice. The rest of the day, we had a couple entries, but didn't trade the rest of the day. And then Friday, I just watched and didn't want to keep trading. I just watched the market, and I marked out some of my spots, and I'll go over those with you guys right now. I marked out above this bar's high after that strong bull bar and this really weak push down, and we had bull strength prior. That's why I thought that might not be a terrible entry. It worked out. I had a mark above this bar's high, which would have been an awful entry because we're just at the top of this range. We have a ton of overlap too. At least enter above this bar's high if you're going to enter. And entry above right here, because I was trying something new, and I thought this was a bull channel, and I put a mark right here to buy, and it would have worked, and you also could have bought above this bar's high. And yes, guys, it was a better week than there's positives to look at, and we just need to keep on getting better at trading and be confident and don't take stupid trades and keep getting better. It's easier said than done to not take stupid trades, but yeah. We lost $48 in total, and our current balance is 933, not 93. But I'll be back next week, and I'm gonna trade all 5 days, and just gonna try to be consistent and trust myself. And yeah, I mean, that's all you can ask for. But thank you guys for watching. If you stayed this long, we'll be back next week and see if we can keep learning how to day trade. Thank you guys. Bye.